We started construction on our first fields in Haiti. Everything was going as planned. We had a friend of ours came down and ran a backhoe or an excavator and a bulldozer, and we made two full-size regulation fields. And we were putting this big cistern in the whole water for the kids for drinking water and stuff. And I'm down there with the work crew building all this because we're going to plan. We want to play for the summer, and this is in the beginning. This is in the wintertime. So as I'm down there working, Carrie calls me and says, "You have to come up to the burn clinic," because Carrie spent her mornings at the burn clinic. In Haiti, there's not a lot of doctors. There's not a lot of places you can go, and the burn clinic is a specialty. And it was a really challenging place, but she did it with such grace and such love, and she just loved the kids. My daughter Abby also, starting at age 12, worked in the burn clinic and like took care of the kids and played with them and did some other stuff with them. But she said, "You need to come to the burn clinic." And I said, "Why? What's going on?" And she says, "There's a little boy here, and he's badly burned. It goes from the top of his neck all the way down to his bottom, his entire back, and his second or third degree burns. It was really bad." She says, "But he remembers you from all the school programs." And I saw him, and he loves soccer. He's really worried he's not going to be able to play, and I just need you to come here and cheer him up a little bit. So I said, "Okay." And I'll come. And that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. Like, I don't get sick from seeing all the different medical things, but emotionally, it's a very difficult place to be because I know what this kid is going to go through. It's not like back in the States. When I got there, I could see from a distance the burn he had. They would put people under, and that's how they would treat it. We were only able to give him a couple Percocet, let that sink in for about 30 minutes or so, and then soak their back with a damp cloth so the burn can get soft. And then they have to take a razor and they scrape I don't want to get too detailed, but it's excruciating painful. And this little boy is laying on his stomach when I walk in, and he's crying, and his mom is dripping the water on his back as he lays across the bench. And, I walk in, he sees me. I see him turn his head real quick and do this, wipe his face. And then he turns around and he's laying looking up at me, and he had this huge smile on his face. And I got down on one knee and I introduced myself, and he's like, and I said, "You look like you're doing great. You're a tough kid," and stuff like that. He's like, "Yes, yes, yes." And I said, "Do you love soccer?" He goes, "Yes, yes." And I go, "Well, if you do everything they tell you here and you do all your treatment, maybe you can play this summer. I don't know. God don't know. But I want to pray over you right now. I want to pray blessings on you and your mom. And I just want God will, heal you. That's what I'm going to pray for. And I want you to be a part of the program no matter what." And he was like, "Yes, yes." And he's telling me all about how much he loves soccer. And then I gave him this wristband, Sport Disciple wristband. I gave him a little fist bump and gave him my baseball hat, my Sport Disciple baseball hat. And I left. And as I walked out, I peeked back at the last second. And he thought I was gone. And as soon as I hit that corner, he burst into tears. A 10-year-old kid with that type of burn wanted to look tough for me because I was the one he wanted to impress for soccer. I'm like, I just cried. It hit me so hard. And I was like mad. I'm like, God, I've seen a lot of really bad things. I see bad stuff all the time. Why am I so hit with this? And then I realized God put it in me that it was a blessing. I wasn't jaded. I had this heart, and it can get broken over and over again, but it's not going to stop me from still loving the hurting. And so I went back down to the construction site. I'd go up and see him. His name is Kevin's. I'd go back down to the construction site, and then every day or so I'd come up and see him in the clinic. And he got better. He played the very first summer. That summer, he'd go to the morning, he'd get treatment down at the burn clinic, and Carrie would take care of him. come down there, he'd play his match or play his game, and then Carrie'd clean him up afterwards. She'd bring all the stuff down the field and do a little triage down there, and he got better and better. And then one day in the burn clinic, he was getting his treatment, and he was just kind of tired, kind of sad. And Carrie says, "What's wrong?" "Nothing, nothing." And she keeps bugging him and asking him and asking him and asking him. He's like, because he's always a joy. He's always happy. And he says, "Well, I haven't eaten anything since last time I came to football," which was Saturday. This was a Tuesday. Here he is with the worst thing anybody could really have, and he's not even eating to help him heal. So we got him some food right then, and then we brought food to his family and started helping the family so they all could eat, because nobody in the family was eating. And it's just, once again, he loved the program so much that he didn't want to be a burden to any of it. He was just so thankful to be a part of it. And that relationship we built with him carried over. One day, about a year later, Kevin's brings me his friend and says, "It's okay, it's okay. You can talk to him, you can talk to him." And he brings me this little boy, and I go to put my hand on his shoulder, and the kid pulls back. I call Carrie over, and we have him take his shirt off. And all over his legs, all over his back, he has whip marks from his parents or from his dad. And he used a cable wire with the end frayed. And he had a bunch of fresh wounds on his back. We were able to take care of the kid, help him out, talk to his parents, and get him in a safe situation. You don't get that relationship without Christ. You don't get that relationship with somebody without love and them seeing it's a genuine love. And that is our main focus with Sport Disciple. I mean, when we have volunteers come down, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a football player, soccer player, baseball, or anything like that. The number one thing you have to be able to do is love. And the kids will do the rest.